Disclaimer. Please forgive me now for there may be mispronunciations in this video. From Lee County, South Carolina, there is a story of a lizard man, also known as Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp, or Lizard Man of Lee County. The lizard man is said to inhabit the swampland of the region, hence its name. It was first mentioned in the late 1980s when sightings and damage from the creature yielded a significant amount of newspaper, radio, and television publicity. On July 14, 1988, the Lee County Sheriff Office went out to investigate a report of a damaged car that occurred overnight while parked at a home in the area of Browntown outside Bishopville, South Carolina, on the edges of Scape or Swamp. It was reported that the car had tooth marks and scratches with hair and muddy footprints left behind. Another damaged vehicle was reported when a 17-year-old local, Christopher Davis, reported to the sheriff that his car was damaged by a creature 2 weeks prior to the last report. According to Davis, he was driving home from work at 2 a.m. on June 29, 1988, when his car got a flat tire. After fixing it, he saw a creature walking toward him. Davis got into his car and tried to drive away, but the creature was soon on top of the car. He pressed on his brakes, causing the creature to roll off the car, giving Davis time to escape. After he returned home, Davis's side view mirror was found to be badly damaged, and scratch marks were found on the car's roof. I looked back and saw something running across the field towards me. It was about 25 yards away, and I saw red eyes glowing. I ran into the car, and as I locked it, the thing grabbed the door handle. I could see him from the neck down. 3 big fingers, long black nails, and green rough skin. It was strong and angry. I looked in the mirror and saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes, and then he jumped on the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt, and then I could see his fingers through the front windshield, where they curled around the roof. I sped up and swerved to shake the creature off. This sighting brought on coverage by newspapers and media, which increased attention for his claims. Local businesses began selling Lizardman t-shirts, and the local Chamber of Commerce encouraged the media attention as good for the community. The increase in newspaper and media publicity prompted more reports of sightings, and the area soon became a tourist attraction for visitors and hunters. Local radio station WCOS offered a $1 million reward to anybody who could capture the creature alive. 2 weeks after the Davis sighting, the sheriff's department made several plaster casts of what appeared to be 3-toed footprints, measuring some 14 inches in length, but they decided against sending them to the FBI for further analysis after biologists advised them that they were unclassifiable. According to the South Carolina Marine Resources Department spokesperson Johnny Evans, the tracks neither matched nor could be mistaken for the footprints of any recorded animal. On August 5th, Kenneth Orr, an airman stationed at Shaw Air Force Base, filed a police report alleging that he had encountered the lizard man on Highway 15, and he had shot and wounded it. He presented several scales and a small quantity of blood as evidence. Orr recanted this sighting 2 days later, when he was charged for unlawfully carrying a pistol and the misdemeanor offense of filing a false police report. According to Orr, he had hoaxed the sighting in order to keep the stories about the lizardman in circulation. Reports of the creature slowly died down at the end of summer. Local law enforcement officials speculated that the sightings were likely to have been caused by a bear, but even a bear with mange doesn't look like what is described to be the lizardman. In 2005, a resident of Newberry, South Carolina, reported 2 lizardmen outside her home in October. A vehicle was attacked again by a supposed lizardman in February 2008 in Bishopville. Dixie Rawson awakened one morning to find her van chewed up. Pieces of the vehicle had been torn off and were all over her driveway. The parts were covered in blood and what looked like to be bite marks. The wheel wells on both sides and other metal parts were bent like pieces of paper. Samples of the blood were taken for testing, but they were said to be contaminated and no determination was ever made. Not long after the incident at the Rawson's home, several large farm animals were found dead nearby. In 2008, CNN mentioned the lizardman legend in a story about a couple in Bishopville who reported damage to the car, which left behind blood traces. The blood traces were found to be from a domestic dog, though the local sheriff suggested it might have been a coyote or a wolf. Skeptical investigator named Ben Radford stated that the details of Chris Davis's story does not hold up under scrutiny. Sheriff Truesdale stated that the Davis's story never wavered, but Radford writes that isn't true. Over weeks and months after repeated reports, the details changed many times, from it having scales to the creature being packed with mud, from how far away Davis was from the creature when he first saw it, and whether or not it attacked the car. Radford also questioned how Davis was able to see the details of the lizardman at 2 a.m. when there was no lighting nearby in a heavily wooded area when the moon was not bright. After investigating, Radford states that the polygraph test administered to Davis may have been a publicity stunt by Southern Marketing Inc., a company arranging personal appearances for Davis. Another issue was that there was no photographs of the damage to Davis's car, which would have provided some evidence that something happened. I did find a webpage that mentions the lizardmen may have been seen by the Creek before 1929. The Creek were a Native American confederacy forming the largest division of the Muskegon family primarily in Alabama, Georgia, and in South Carolina. According to the Myths and Tales of the Southeastern Indians by John Reed Swanton in 1929, the Creek encountered a human-sized lizard monster in the area. Let me try to simplify the story. Several Indians formed a hunting camp, and one of the hunters found a big bare tree. They set out to build a fire there and smoke out the she-bear the next day. They were sure a bear lived there, so they started the fire under it, and the smoke filled up the hollow inside, and soon a big lizard came out. The hunting party ran away, but the lizard gave chase. It caught one of the hunters, took him back to the big tree, and threw him down into it. Then it chased another, and did the same to each in turn. When only one was left, it chased him and after brought him back. But when the lizard returned, a panther was lying asleep next to the tree. When the panther woke, it jumped upon the lizard. They fought. The man escaped and ran back to his people, where he told his people about the big lizard that had killed all the others. Another odd tidbit is this. According to Lai Blackburn's 2013 book, Lizardman, The True Story of Bishopville Monster, several lizardman witnesses, including Christopher Davis, have died of unnatural causes. Before the 1988 sighting of the lizardmen in Scape, South Carolina, were reported, there had been encounters with similar creatures in other North American regions. Apparently, the first report of a vehicle being attacked by a lizard creature was in November 1958. Charles Wetzel was driving near the Santa Ana River near Riverside, California, when a 6-foot-tall, glowing-eyed creature with leaf-like scales and protrusible beak-like mouth attacked his car. Wetzel told author Lauren Coleman in a 1982 interview that the creature's legs appeared to stick out from the sides of the torso, not from the bottom. In August 1972, a lizard-type man was sighted in the Thetis Lake area of British Columbia by several witnesses. The man-sized beast was humanoid in shape, with scale-covered silver skin, large ears, a monster face, and several projections on its head. A few years later, in 1977, a conservationist reported seeing a scale-covered man-beast at dusk evening near the waters of Southern Tier in New York State. In 2010, Destination Truth featured the Lizardman. He also had a mention on Sci-Fi's show Fact or Faked in the episode titled Reptile Rampage. What do you think of the Lizardman of Lee County? Did you like this video? Want to get early access and support this channel? Feel free to check out my Patreon page where I create content in cryptids, hauntings, alien abductions, serial killers, and much more. Can't support me there? Like, comment, and subscribe here.